Hey, good evening, Periscope. I'm excited to be back. This is like, we've had a 2-week break and we're starting again at a brand new time of 9 p.m. Let's see who turns up. David Bresnahan, actor, is here. Sarah's here. It's a new name. Sarah, let us know where you are viewing from. Like I say, yeah, good evening, guys. For those who don't know me, Sarah, I don't know if you do. Kim, good evening. Everybody's jumping on now. It even looks like Periscope's changed a little bit since the last time I used it. Danisaro is here. Good evening, David. Yeah, for those who don't know me, guys, my name's Ross. I'm an actor and a voiceover artist from Manchester in the UK. Good evening, Fanny. She's now here as well. I scope twice a week, but I've had a 2-week hiatus because I've been putting a lot of stuff together behind the scenes for a website that I run for actors called actonthis.tv, and another website, Sasha, Nina, I just saw as well. Sophie's here as well. Another website that I run called Bulletproof Actor as well. I'm plugged in. I'm on airplane mode and got my coffee. No, I haven't, Kim. I've got no coffee. I am on airplane mode, and my iPad's actually got loads of charge, so it's good. People have noticed already. Fanny's noticed as well. In the 2-week break, we've got a new poster. Do you want to just take a second to read the poster? The company rules. It says company rules. I'm the only one in the company, but these are my rules. Decide, take responsibility, be humble, never give up, show initiative, laugh, don't complain, find a solution, keep on learning, take pride in your work, open your mind, embrace change, collaborate, listen, improve daily, and lead, not follow. Remember what I keep saying? Leaders create leaders, guys. That's what you want to be doing in your life. So it's good to be back, isn't it? But yeah, so on a Monday night, guys, for those who are new, I do something called motivation and mind hacks, which is just that. It's little motivational tips, tricks, mind hacks, biohacks. We've done everything over the last year. If you want to go and watch any of the 125 previous Periscopes, go to actonthis.tv and just click into the Periscope section. You can watch them all there. All the replays are online, and including this one. This one will be tomorrow. So yeah, we do that on a Monday, and then on a Wednesday night we do a book club as well. And we've got one more week left on Preston Smiles book, guys, this Wednesday at the new time of 9 p.m. It's called Love Louder, 33 Ways to Amplify Your Life. We've looked at 3 chapters of it already. Well, actually a bit more than that, haven't we? I think we might have looked at like 2 on each session, so 6 chapters. We've got one more session on Wednesday night on that book, and then we'll be starting a brand new book for October. I can't believe it's October already, and this is kind of what I want to speak about tonight. So for those who don't know as well, I release a podcast on a Friday called 5 to Thrive, and I want to expand on what I spoke about in the podcast. If you let me know if anyone's heard this week's 5 to Thrive episode. 12 weeks till Christmas, says Fanny. Yeah, it is. I can't believe it. Give me some hearts. Tap the screen if you've heard any of the podcasts. You might not even know that the 5 to Thrive one is there. It's available on iTunes or Stitcher. Just search for Act on This TV, all one word, and it's just a personal development podcast for actors. But you know what? It applies to everybody. All of these scopes that we do are loosely kind of attached to the acting industry, but they apply to everybody because we're all human beings. Hipster, Simon's here. Good to see you. So yeah, and I speak about in this week's 5 to Thrive episode the fact that I turned 34 2 weeks ago. I know none of you can believe it, you know. And I still look 21. I don't at all. I certainly don't feel it either. But yeah, I turned 34 on the 9th of September, a couple of weeks back. And I'm just explaining where I've been. Hipster saying, where have you been? So it started with my birthday, Hipster. I had a little bit of time off after my birthday, and also to get Bulletproof Actor, the mindset program that I'm releasing again in October, getting that done. But yeah, I turned 34, and I was like, oh my God, man. Like, when I look back on my 24-year-old self, I thought I'd have had it all figured out by now. Ultimately, Verona, good evening, that my life, career, everything about it would be a lot more certain by now. Does anyone else resonate with that? When you look back on your oh, David's saying stop, start. Oh, it might be a connection to Periscope, David. Log out and log back in. Yeah, when anyone else looks back on their self 10 years ago, how many kind of go, oh my God, I thought I would have had my life so much more figured out by now than I actually have. I was thinking back to some of the things that I thought at 24, and I was like, you know what, I thought in my acting career by the time I was 34, I would, I'd be like way established, really established. I'd be like a lead in some top drama, all this kind of stuff. And I look at what I'm doing now, and you know what, I kind of needed that ambition to drive me to the point of where I am now. And I'm working in top drama, but I'm certainly not the leads at all. Can I go back 20 years, says somebody. Yes, you can. You can go back 20 years if you've got that many years. Nina, life has taught me it throws you lots of curveballs. Well, it does, but I was reading a book about, it's a book by an author, I'm trying to remember the guy's name, Martin Buber, I think his name was. And it was a great quote in there, and he said, you know what, on life's journeys, we visit many secret destinations. And these are destinations that, we often don't know that we're going to. We set sail for one thing, and we end up going here, 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 and we kind of zigzag along, we don't go in a straight line. And it really kind of rang true with me. In my my relationship wise, I was like 24. Thought at 34 I'll be married. I'll be absolutely married. I'll probably have a kid, or two, or whatever. I'm still single. I haven't got a wife or kids in sight. So I haven't got all that figured out. When it comes to like houses, I was like, oh yeah, I'll live in a huge mansion. That'll be absolutely fine by the time I'm 34. I'm just this year having my first apartment built. Well, I've not commissioned it. It's being built around the corner from where I am now. And the first apartment I'm going to buy, as opposed to just renting or anything. So that kind of hasn't panned out exactly kind of as I thought. And the more I looked at these things, and the more I've spoken to other people, and the one thing I've learned as I've got older, and particularly in the acting industry, is that it's all right to not have everything figured out, and it's all right to absolutely embrace the uncertainty that we have in our lives. So Tony Robbins, great mentor of mine, says we have 4 main human needs. One is certainty, so that we need to feel certain on some things, but equally we need uncertainty as well. We need significance and we need love and connection. But certainty and uncertainty we absolutely need. And as human beings, and particularly as actors, I think we tend to kind of back off and shy away from uncertainty in our lives, don't we? Because it's uncomfortable. We don't like to feel that we don't, have the map laid out before us. We don't know exactly where we're going. Tony is my new obsession, says Fanny. Tony's brilliant, Fanny. Tony Robbins is awesome. Tony Robbins, Anthony Robbins, whatever people want to call him, Google him, and you'll find some great stuff. So I wrote down just a few things here that I've got no slides tonight. This was just kind of stream of consciousness stuff about uncertainty, and let me know in your life what uncertainty you've got, and and whether you tend to shy away from it or whether you tend to embrace it. The more you embrace it, the more comfortable you're going to be with it, and the more comfortable you can be with being uncomfortable, the more you're going to grow as a person and definitely as an actor. In the middle of a Periscope, bloody Rachel Shenton ringing me at 9:10. It's because she doesn't know a Periscope at 9 o'clock. This is the first night. So 3 things that I've got here. One, why you need to embrace uncertainty and be okay with not having it all figured out is because it's absolutely impossible, first of all, to have it all figured out. Okay, and I think by having uncertainty, we've got Jonathan here, I think, says it's all about the journey, not the goal. When we get to the goal and then it's something else, we look for the next goal. Yeah, absolutely. I feel that having uncertainty also makes us work harder. Do you not find that if you like the acting industry, ultimately if you don't work hard, you go in absolutely nowhere. But by not quite knowing where the next destination is or what secret destinations you're going to arrive at, I find that it spurs me on, makes me work harder overall. 2, second point, why I think you need to embrace uncertainty, is that you'll absolutely rob yourself of any fun and any adventure. Patrick's here. If you did know everything, can you imagine if everything in life was mapped out for you and you already knew what kind of acting career you were going to have, what roles you were going to play, who you were going to work opposite with, in your personal life, what kind of man or woman you were going to marry, if you're a woman, what kind of wedding dress you were going to wear for your wedding day, what kind of children you are going to have, what they are going to do. Acting industry by definition is uncertain. Absolute career of risk, says Fanny. No, it is, definitely. And I think there's got to be some kind of gene missing within us actors to actually want to have a career in it in the first place. Tony Rossi, good evening. So yeah, if you did know everything, your life was absolutely mapped out and it was all certain, you would rob yourself of all that spontaneity, all the fun, all the adventure, all the life lessons, all the mistakes, which are just as valid as the triumphs, the rich pageant of life, says Patrick. You really would, I think, rob yourself of the adventure, effectively. And you might as well call it a day now. How many people, give me some hearts if you've ever had, if you can think of a time where by pure coincidence you've met somebody and that's taken you to a completely different destination, hopefully for the good, for the better. But it would almost seem like a complete coincidence that you met that person. You thought you were heading here and you're on a certain direction and you just met someone. You might have just spoke to them in a coffee shop or crossed them one day. Something happened. I'm seeing Sasha saying yeah all the time, says Jonathan, I think. Jen's here as well. Not yet, says Fanny. I've had it happen a couple of times where I'm like, wow, you know what? I thought I was going here, and if I'd have left like my house or I hadn't have, been somewhere at a certain time, I'd never met this person, which would never have met that, and that wouldn't have happened, and that wouldn't have happened, and that wouldn't have happened. And that certain destination you thought you were going to suddenly is thrown completely off course, and you end up somewhere completely different, but sometimes much, much way better than you ever thought. And I often think, was that coincidence, or were we somehow guided to those secret destinations? Sorry I'm late, says Jen. Didn't realise it was an early start. Don't worry, Jen. You can always watch the replay. We're just talking about uncertainty, Jen, and how we need to embrace it more as actors and as people. Lee's here as well. Good evening, Lee. Went on a walk to clear my head last week and bumped into a film producer I met, says Sarah. It went in a coffee shop. It's crazy, isn't it? Some stuff like that, just is like, wow, if I'd have left 10 seconds earlier, I wouldn't have crossed paths with people. So yeah, ultimately, yeah, point number two. So point number one was it's impossible to have certainty in your life all the time, just is. And I think having uncertainty as an actor makes you work harder towards gaining that certainty. Two, if everything was mapped out for you, you'd rob yourself of all the fun and all the adventure. And meeting those people and having those crazy little detours and going to those secret locations. And number three, one thing that, guys, I did an interview last week with a top executive producer for Red Production Company, a production company we have here in Manchester in the UK, and they make big television drama. And I interviewed one of their top dogs, a guy called Tom Sherry, last week. It's a brilliant interview. It's going to be released this Friday, the 30th, on actonthis.tv. And this guy's like flying totally at the top of his game, making the best TV in the world. And I speak to people like this all the time in these interviews, and equally every single one of them admits to me how much uncertainty there is in their life and how they don't have it all figured out. So point number three is I don't think anybody on this planet, Fanny, I include Tony Robbins in that, I don't think anybody on the planet has it all figured out. I just don't know anybody. Let me know if you do. If you know anyone that you think, actually, yeah, they've got it all together and nothing, they never get any curveballs. Because I don't know anybody. If you ask anyone to look back on themselves 10 years ago and then look at where they are today, if they would have put themselves in the place they thought they would be in every area of their life, I don't think anyone's going to go, yep, definitely, I got the job, I got the house, I got the girl, the kids, I got all these things that I wanted, that I was certain I was going to get. Because like we've said, you do, what seems random, whether you're guided or it's random, you meet all these people, and they take you to these uncertain places and on these crazy adventures. Tony says, what did we just say, Fanny? I missed it. What are you talking about, Tony? I'll recap you. Life is a roller coaster. You just have to ride it. I'm sure that's what Ronan Keating, the singer, said. Getting philosophical now. So, guys, what I wanted to do, it's not a super long scope for this first introductory one. I want to have a little chat with you guys about what's coming up with Acts on This next. But I want to challenge everybody just this week as a little get us back into the Periscopes. And sometimes we throw out these challenges and stuff. Little introductory challenge as we're starting these scopes off again. I want everybody to do something, and I've just done this today, so this is why I'm saying this, to book something or do something this week which brings uncertainty into their life. Mary, good evening. And what I did for that was I've agreed today to go and speak at a breakfast meeting at a business entrepreneurial kind of meeting at a bar on the 12th of October in Media City, and to do a presentation on ultimately taking action, fulfilling your potential, and getting shit done. For those who are regulars to the scopes, you've already had that for the last year on every Monday and Wednesday night. But it's uncertain for me because I've done it for a couple of charities for friends that I've known before, but they've been people that I've known. I've never done anything like this in front of established business owners and entrepreneurs who will, some of them will be much more successful than I am. Some of them won't be, quite as far down the line when it comes to the business as I am. But that for me is uncertain because I'm like opening myself up into an industry that isn't acting, is somewhere that I don't feel a huge authority, and I'm like, it's got to be good for me. It makes me feel uncomfortable, so I know it's the right thing to do. Ross, going part-time at work, down to half pay so that I can focus on my acting career. Uncertain. Good on you, Patrick. Well, that should hopefully free up more hours for you that you can put into your acting career. Whatever you do, don't squander those hours. Make those hours that you're taking off. If you think, okay, well, I'm losing X amount per hour, just say, I don't know, 10 quid an hour, and I've got 4 hours today that I'm missing out on. Make those hours worth that 40 quid. Do something that's going to pay dividends that will eventually pay you back that and a load more as well. Don't think, oh, it's nice to have a break, put my feet up and watch Judge Rinder on TV. Tony, you have a clue what Judge Rinder is, but the guy's brilliant and he's currently on Strictly Come Dancing as well. But it is a brave decision. This is awesome, Ross. Even if you fail, you likely learn something that can take you forward. Yeah, definitely. So I want everybody to do something, and if people are struggling for something like, what could I do that's uncertain, what could I do that's going to make me a little bit uncomfortable, the easiest thing to do, and I'd like you to do this tonight or tomorrow, is if you've never posted a video in the Act on This Facebook group, post a video in the Act on This Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV, and just introduce yourself via video to the group. Let us know what you are doing right now, where you are at in your acting career, what you need help with, how we can help you, and what you've been up to recently. It's just great to put moving, talking, walking faces to these avatars that we have online. Ross, you see my MUTV Extraordinary Fan documentary? I have, yeah, I saw it, Patrick. It looked great. So Patrick's a massive Manchester United football fan, and MUTV, the football channel, have done a documentary on him. I did a lot this summer that was all acting or industry related. I didn't catch who said that, but that's good. Nailed it all, says Kim. Excellent, Kim. Good on you, but what are you going to do now? Don't rest on your laurels. I want everybody this week, it's Monday, so we've got till Friday to do the thing that's uncertain, or at least book it in and then report back on the Facebook group what it is. Like I say, if you can't think of anything, please do a video. I love just seeing videos on the Facebook group because it's just so much more interesting than just reading words all the time. Exactly, don't rest on those achievements, says Patrick. Precisely. So do that, think about what you're going to do that's going to bring some uncertainty into your life, and embrace it. The more you can practice, and it sounds mental this, but the more you can practice being uncomfortable and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, the better you're going to have, the better success you're going to have in life overall, not just your acting career, but in life, full stop. So for me, it has come through practice. So when I think back to when I first started auditioning for TV, I remember my first audition at Coronation Street. That's a soap opera we have over here, Tony, in the UK. It's probably the most popular soap that we've ever had. Awesome soap, great to work on. I remember my first audition. I was auditioning for a barman called Jasper. I had about 6 lines, and honestly, I went into that audition like bricking it. I mean, like completely. It was uncomfortable because I'd only just started out. I was about 24, 25. Was like, right, this could be a big deal for me. This, let's have a crack at this. And I was like, I mean, I got the part. Thankfully, I obviously wasn't showing too much of it, but I felt so uncertain going in. Now that was 10 years ago. I had an audition last week for Corrie as well. None of that, just none of that at all. It just felt very, very comfortable going in. Did a good job, didn't get the part, but I've been called back today to go for another part on Thursday. So I must have done all right. But it was because there was, I didn't feel uncertain anymore. I was comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, and I got to the point where it no longer felt uncomfortable. I'm not saying if I went to anywhere else for an audition, it wouldn't feel uncomfortable. But in that place particularly, because I've had practice, it feels all right. Good luck, says Simon. Thanks, man. Do you think it's an age thing, like your confidence grows with age too? Definitely, Sasha, without a doubt. Because I tell you what happens, like I said in this, point number 3 that I had before, was that no one has it all figured out. And the beautiful thing about getting older is you realise that everybody else around you, who's either your age or even older, they haven't got a bloody clue what they're doing either. I mean, seriously, everyone has uncertainty in their lives. I decided yesterday night that I'm going to LA next year. No idea how, no idea, but I'm doing it. Good on you, Fanny. I know an actress who had that exact same idea 3 years ago. She spent the last 200 quid in her bank account on a plane ticket, went to LA, landed a job in a week. It never happens. It just never happens, but she did it and ended up with 3 seasons of a massive drama out in America. So Lightning generally, her manager, I mean, you don't normally get a manager when you first go out there either. But her manager, or who ended up being her manager, said, wow, lightning doesn't normally strike the first time you're out, but it did for her. And there's no reason if it can't happen for one person, it can't happen for you. So yeah, go for it. Commit to it, do it. Don't half-heartedly do it. Go all in for 3 months, 6 months, whatever. And we don't get any younger, says Fanny. No, we don't. Think about it now, guys. You are the youngest right now you will ever be. I'm the youngest I am ever going to be again. Don't throw it away. Definitely. Fanny says, before all my looks fade. Nah, looks are nothing. Don't worry about that, Fanny. Absolutely. That's a great thing about acting. There's a role for everybody, regardless of age, looks, race, gender, religion, any of that. None of that matters. There's roles for everybody. Ross, I'm the oldest, but so what? Exactly. You're the oldest, but you're the youngest you're ever going to be, Pat. So embrace that, definitely. So yeah, that's important. And remember, I mean, God bloody hell, look around you in the world. How many children are dying in war zones? You know, age is a privilege. Getting older is a privilege. So very few people get on this planet. So embrace that, because God, there's people who lost their life yesterday who would love to be here now, feeling very uncertain in their acting career and not having it all figured out. They would, swap anything for that, I imagine. So you have that privilege. Don't forget it. So let's just spend a couple of minutes giving me a bit of news then. What's going on, and then we'll wrap it. We'll wrap it up. We'll have it wrapped up for 9:30. That was an early finish, isn't it? It's a 30-minute Periscope. But I just wanted to ease back in gently. And ultimately, yeah, that was just kind of been on my mind this week. Is going, you know what? It's perfectly fine to not have it all figured out. And sometimes as we get older and we hit these birthdays, people kind of shy away from their age and they're like, oh God. Good job, I'm handsome, says David. You have a problem, David. Not a problem. But yeah, there's some actresses I spoke to who are 30 and like, I'm over the hill now, forget it. Actors equally as well though, who are like, oh, I didn't make it in my 20s, so I won't bother now. And I'm like, you're just missing the point. So many people give up just before they're about to succeed as well. And that's both in acting, life, business, relationships, everything. Just at the point where they were about to succeed, they give in. And it's like, oh man, just bad. No way, I'm 65, says Jonathan, I think. 65, nothing though, isn't it? Do you do a pre-Bulletproof video online? So for Bulletproof Actor, yeah, I'll answer that question. So I've got a mindset course, particularly for actors, called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. It's going to launch, it's going to be available to actually enroll on around about the 1st or 2nd week of October, but there will be before that a brand new free mini course that's going to go out, a video mini course. It's actually not really that much of a mini course. It's about an hour and a half long. It's going to be spread across 3 videos. I've already filmed them, and that's going to launch in about a week to 10 days from now. You'll be able to go through those. If you like what's in those and you want to carry on working like God on material that's 10 times as powerful, even though that material is very powerful, then you can enroll on the full course. That's uncertainty, because I've never written and directed something before. Oh, I miss your other thing, Kim, but you're probably writing and directing something, so that's great. Yeah, Bulletproof Actor is a video course online. It's also, you get 5 massive PDF workbooks to go through. We do online webinars. We have guest speakers on the online webinars. There's podcasts, a private community, and effectively, the program absolutely is the great recommendation for mindset. Loved it, said Sophie. It's absolutely the most powerful, well, it's the only mindset training program specifically tailored for actors in the world, like full stop. It might as well be called Bulletproof Plumber though, because anybody who goes through the material in the program will transform their life no matter what career you do. Hey Anna, how are we doing? It's around about 5 hours of video. It would take you around about 5 weeks to complete. You should do 1 unit a week. The units are super in-depth though, really, really high quality PDF booklets. It's not like just a joke. This is not for people who aren't committed. I don't want anybody, well, I wouldn't recommend anybody enroll on the course if you're not truly, truly committed to transforming your life. It enables people to break down all of the limiting beliefs they have around their life, their abilities, why they can and can't do things. Gets them to deal with a lot of past experiences, stuff that will happen to you maybe decades ago that's still affecting you today. Helps you break all that down through science-backed, positive psychology and high-performance mindset coaching, and enables you to rewrite effectively a limitless life for yourself, which will enhance absolutely every area of your life, including your acting career, but I'm talking everything, you know, your wealth, your health, your happiness. And yeah, it's some serious shizzle for people who are only the most committed though. Like literally, it's not like a thing I do just, you know, as a sales thing or a money spinner or anything like that. It's probably the 5 most exciting weeks of my year taking people through this course. So I do it twice a year, so 10 weeks effectively. Taking people through this, but I would actively discourage people who really aren't like ready for a change. It's not something you just do and it's nice to have. It's like you commit to this, but you will absolutely 10 times your motivation, 10 times your productivity, 10 times your kind of every area of your life. You know, your well, yeah, just kind of like your will to live. To actually have and lead an extraordinary life, not just be addicted to average, which a lot of people are, unfortunately. They just get addicted to being average, and that's fine if you're happy with that. But if you want to be more than that and have more, then this will absolutely help you with that. Ross, you remind me of an acting version of the Body Coach. Who's the Body Coach? I like the sound of the Body Coach though. Definitely, I just like seeing people fulfill the potential, Sasha. Like seriously. Because I see so much wasted potential, not just in the acting industry, just in life, to be honest. And I include myself in that 8 or 9 years ago, when I was just in a place where I was addicted to the struggle, literally addicted to the struggle. Because you know what? Because it was certain. This ties in with everything we've spoken about on the scope, because it was bloody certain. I knew what I was dealing with. Yes, it was shit, but it was my shit. And I knew what I was dealing with. And I might have been in the bottom of a hole going, my acting career shit, my life shit, I've got no money, you know, none of this, none of this, none of this. But it was my hole that I was in, and I was fiercely protective of it. Like, you know, yeah, I know what I'm dealing with. And it's getting over that, getting out of your hole, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, change everything. I'm currently working my way through all your old Periscopes and finding them really, says Louise, useful. I hope he's saying Louise. Oh, I missed that, really positive, amazing. And I missed that other comment. I'm so sorry, whoever posted then in pink. Say it again. It's had Joe Wicks in it. Whoever Joe Wicks was. Oh, the body coach. It would have been Sasha. Joe Wicks, right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Brilliant. Well, that's awesome. And Louise, I'm really grateful that you're watching the other Periscopes. It means people are looking at them. I upload all of the replays. So it's brilliant to see people doing that. So yeah, cheers for that. I hope it's helping. Also subscribe to the 5 to Thrive podcast on iTunes, because if you like the Periscopes, these are like condensed versions of 5 to Thrive is a condensed version of the Periscopes. They're not all the same topics, they're often very different topics, but something you can have in your ears when you're on the way to the gym, or you're on the way to audition, or on the way to work, or whatever. But that's for me, that was what I was addicted to, absolutely. You know, I was carrying around a bag of shit with me, but it was my bag of shit, I didn't want to give it to anyone else. And then when you get comfortable with going, you know what, I don't need to hold on to this anymore, let's get rid of that and let's just embrace this uncertainty, your life will never quite be the same again. So ultimately that's what we've got to do. So yeah, so get your challenge done, guys. Book something in that's uncertain. Public speaking, maybe it's going to I saw people do monologue slam, and I thought, you know what, that's something I've never done, and that, you know what, it frightens the life out of me, genuinely, because I haven't done theatre since I left drama school in 2005. All I've done is TV and film. And to get up on a stage and be big again, and you know, not just have to act subtly like you would do for a screen, that frightens me a little bit. Might write a stand-up set. Amazing. I've always wanted to do stand-up, David. That's amazing. I want to do that, says Fanny. Awesome. What's the new poster behind you? So hipster, you missed the new poster. This was replacing the optimism, pessimism, F it, we're going to make it happen poster. And these are my new company rules, but they're I'm the only one in the company. So it says, decide and take responsibility, be humble, never give up, show initiative, laugh, don't complain, find a solution, keep on learning, take pride in your work, open your mind, embrace change, collaborate, listen, improve daily, and lead and not follow. Joe Wicks was a character in EastEnders as well, Kim, not just the body coach. Yes, you are correct. Amazing. So do that, get your challenge done, and post a video in the Facebook group. I just want you to post a bloody video in the Facebook group. And don't forget, this following Saturday, I'll remind you on Wednesday night as well, this coming Saturday we've got the Manchester meetup, thanks to Lee Petcher, who's watching tonight. He arranges the Manchester meetups. It's at Home Theatre at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning till about 1 or 2. Plenty of cake, loads of coffee, and a good chat. So if you want to get in the Facebook group and RSVP to that, click on the events tab, and you should find it in the events tab. Sometimes it doesn't show up on desktop and it only shows on mobile for some reason. It's a bug on Facebook, but hopefully they'll fix that. Anna says, I got in late, was in a meeting. What's the challenge? The challenge was, Anna, we're talking about embracing uncertainty. So you've got to do something, book something, or commit to doing something that makes you feel uncertain or uncomfortable, and embrace it. So for me, it was I booked to speak at an entrepreneur's breakfast at like a swanky private members bar in Manchester that I got invited to speak at. And I was like, oh my god, this is way out of my comfort zone. I'm used to speaking to actors. The acting industry is something I know inside out, or I feel I do. I'm certainly, I'm still learning, but I know about it, and I'm certainly not, not where I want to end up. I've got so far to go on my acting journey. But business and entrepreneurialism and stuff is something that I love, and I love listening to other people talk about. But for me to go and talk about it with a science-backed positive psychology approach, which is what my expertise in, scares me a little bit. So that's what I've booked. Doing a duologue and monologue slam this year, out of my comfort zone. But let's do this. Awesome, Soph, brilliant. Yeah, I need to go and watch a monologue slam actually when there's the next one in Manchester. Recall for TVC audition Friday, very challenging. So Jonathan, awesome, good luck with that. Let us all know in the Facebook group how that goes as well. But yeah, just got to keep each other going, guys. Keep each other motivated and updated with what's going on. I didn't know there was a duologue slam either, Fanny, but yeah, I'm guessing there is definitely. Duologue slam, triologue slam. Could all just do it. Let's do an act on this slam. Maybe we should all have a crack at that. Good stuff, guys. Right, well, I shall leave you to it. It's 25 to 10. This works for me. How does a new time work for you at 9 PM? Is that all right? For me, it does, because it means I can still be in bed for 10:30, definitely. I start my day a lot earlier now the last 15 weeks I've been a morning person. I've changed my routine to 6:15 and getting in the gym for 6:45. Not on a Monday, says Anna. Good, says Jonathan. Good, says Hipster. Fanny prefers 10, because you're probably a night owl, Fanny. A lot of creative people tend to be the ones who stay up late. I used to be that person. I'd stay up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I've changed. I never thought I could be a morning person, but now I really am. And if you listen to an advert on the telly at the moment for a company called Lisa Mattress, you'll hear a man in the advert say, now I'm a morning person. And things like, you need this bed. And that's me. So I actually genuinely, when I say I'm now a morning person, I really am a morning person. So that's pretty cool. A little bit crazy. So look out for that. I've done some more of those today, so they'll be showed on TV soon. Awesome. Jonathan goes to bed at 11, gets up at 5:30. Man, you are a machine. I need 7-8 hours tops. You know, like good 8 hours kick really. Cold feet on +1, it's fine. Excellent, you can catch up on Cold Feet on +1, David. Yeah, I forgot how at 9 PM would play with people's programmes. I can't do late night, says Anna. Just old, says Jonathan. Maybe the older you get, the less sleep you need. You know, there's only me and my mate Sean in the gym in the morning at 6:45 who are under 35. He's only just under 35 by like a week. Everybody else are 60 plus, and I wonder if that is like you do just need less sleep the older you get. I don't quite know how that works, but it's interesting, isn't it? I'm up at 7 AM every morning, in bed the early hours. Fanny, you are also a machine. I can't handle it. I need quality sleep. Absolutely need quality sleep. Otherwise, I'm just a zombie. And on that note, I'm going to get some quality sleep. I'll get ready anyway. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to be back. I got so excited as I was pressing go live tonight because I'm like, yes, I've missed you all. So it's great. Thanks, Ross. Have a rest of the night, everyone, says Sasha. Sleep, very important, says Anna. It was up at 5 AM today, says David. Wow, that's early. Bye for now, says Fanny. Cheers, Ross, says Lee. Cheers, Jen. Thanks, Jen. Thanks to John. Everybody, thanks, guys. Thanks, Tony, as well, for tuning in from Chicago. We'll have to jump on a Tony Scope at some point. Or you post a Facebook Live video in the Acts on This group, Tony. We'll all have a session with you, man. That's cool. And David smashed a 10K. Smashed a 10K an hour ago, too. Brilliant. Awesome. Keep running. Keep on running. Tom Sherry, top executive producer, the guy whose interview is going to launch on Friday, he puts a lot of his feel-good factor and success down to running. So do I. Everybody, get your running shoes on. Go and have a jog. Right, I'll catch up with you Wednesday night, guys. Same time, 9 PM. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you all. Go challenge yourself. Be uncomfortable. Be uncertain. Bye for now. Oh, no. Not yet. I can't. There you go. Stop broadcast. Bye for now.